Hey Miles, how you doing? Okay, we'll receive feedback on this. It's tough. And the course is set up so that you could feasibly submit your work late in the week and possibly not get feedback. My recommendation is to get your work compiled if you want feedback and submit it early. Like when I say early, I'm talking like Wednesday or Thursday. Um, 'Cause if it's due Friday, it's just if we don't get feedback in by Saturday, and a lot of students don't work on Sunday, so it's just really a good idea to get the work posted as early as possible if you want ample feedback, so that you can make changes for your final presentation for that particular week. And that's relevant too, because there are a couple of missing elements in your presentation. We'll talk about that in a second. Excuse me. So the first thing I want to mention is that, so the process book here should be really a compilation of everything from each week. So week one work should be included in week two's process book. And then in week three's process book, week one and week two's work should be included, and so on and so forth, right? So it's an ongoing representation of the process associated with the project. Okay, so what we have here is we have your opening page. You have problems and solutions. But now don't forget, last week we were required to define the ideation of the problem, which you have right here. That's great. But we also have to list the three main functions of the app, and then the competitors, including all pros and cons of the competition. Then in week two, we have, so current pain points. That's good stuff too. That'll work. Okay, then in week two, we have established we have ideation, so define the problem the app is trying to solve and the ideal user. Then we have established your personas, which you have. I would recommend designing these pages. Really, really get into designing these pages, pictures and everything. I mean, if you take a look at Marcus's, excuse me, Marcus's presentation of his personas is top notch. It's fantastic. And then also take a look at the examples I posted in the announcements area, as well as that example within the course material. So it's a really good idea, a really good presentation of how to establish your process book and design it accordingly. So so you have one persona here. So you only have one persona. I recommend three personas. Okay. Now what you want to do with your persona is take the person from your persona and transpose them into a scenario. So you're going to take Eric here. You're going to put him into a scenario. Describe it briefly. Give a written paragraph on the scenario. What is happening? So the scenario should be a depiction of where the user is or what the user is doing when they are confronted with the problem, and they can overcome that problem using your app. Okay, so we need to create at least one scenario, and I would say at least two personas. I recommend three. Okay, I'll show you some examples in a second. Now you have sketches right here. Now your sketches are really difficult to follow, and the reason being is each one is on an individual page, so it's really difficult to follow these. I'll show you some recommendations I have in a second with that. But it looks like you've got everything planned out quite nicely. That's great for your scenario. That's fantastic. So I have a feeling once we get these in the storyboard format, the scenario will be top notch. Okay, and also don't be afraid to give little written descriptions for each page in the scenario. So what is missing? What is missing is the wireframe sketches of all screens. These are a beginning. They're starting your wireframe sketches, but these have got to be as complete as, I mean, really a 100% realistic depiction of each screen in the app. Okay, that's really important. I'll show you some examples in a second. Then you have paper prototypes. You've got to get those paper prototypes in there because we have to start testing this week. So let me show you an example. Okay, so this is an example. This is the what's it called? The waste not example. So this is fantastic. This is available in the week two announcement, specifically in the announcement titled examples for week two. So you want to take a look at this, study this. So here's the problem, here's the solution, and this is stuff that was left over. This was week one's requirements, solution, main features and functions, target market. Now this is great. We have demographics, needs, behaviors, and values all associated with the target market. That's great. We have competition, including pros and cons. Then we have right into personas. So we have the personas, and you've got one persona, but this is a good idea of how to format your persona page with images, etc. So what you want to do is you're going to do 1, 2, 3 personas as recommended. Then you want to take one of these personas, one of these individuals, and just start a storyboard scenario. So what I would recommend is add just a paragraph describing the situation and then just storyboard out what is happening to the individual from the persona that is causing them to an issue that can be overcome by using the app. Okay, then we have wireframe sketches. Now this is critical. Each frame, each screen that you intend on featuring in the app has got to be shown in detail. I mean, this is exact replication of what the screen looks like, right? And the reason being is because we're going to use these sketches for our user testing. All right, so these are the wireframe sketches depicting all screens in the app. Then we have the scenario, we talked about that. Now, these are the paper prototypes, and this is what we're after. This is really important. Note that each one of these screens is a screen from the wireframe. What you do is you mock up a phone. There's the phone interface right there. Then each screen would fit in the hole in the phone. So you use your testing, so you would slip a screen in there. You would ask the test subject a question and ask them, show them, and ask them, okay, where would you go if you wanted to do this particular function? And then they would point to it, and then you would record that as a correct answer. Now, if you have 5 user test subjects and all 5 of them get wrong, like, okay, so where would you click to set up your user profile? And they all click in the wrong space, that's a definite indication that that page in the interface has to be changed to depict a more realistic presentation of where you want that viewer to click. Okay, so that's what's missing from the presentation. So it's really important that we get that stuff in place for your week 3 process book and include everything. It's really, really important. We're moving quickly and we will continue to do so. So let's go ahead and get that stuff in place. Okay, I think, honestly, Miles, I think you have a good understanding of what's going on. I just think that right now we just really have to concentrate on the requirements. So, for example, here's week 2, project 2, mobile app prototype begin. This is what's due. Okay, so storyboard. So right here, create paper prototypes, photographs, and post for critique. So we do have some missing elements here. So at this point, I would say if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you need any clarification, now's the time. Please let me know quickly, as we are going to concentrate on moving forward. Okay, great start. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.